Hi guys, so just a quick one today. People have asked me before, do these 5-minute ab workouts and these 10-minute abs and to get shredded in 10 minutes, does it actually work? And here's an interesting answer. The short answer to this is probably yes. If you did it consistently, it would work, even if it's only 10 minutes, or even if you're only training 10 minutes a day. And here's why. The stimulus that causes you to build muscle only takes a fraction of a second. Really, you've got to take into consideration warm-up time, and you can't obviously launch into, if you're a power lifter, you can't launch into a 1 rep max of 200 kilos because your spine's going to come out. But if you train body weight, or you train kettlebells, or like relatively light-ish, light to moderate weights, you can produce tension really quick, and it's tension that actually, high tension coupled with a little bit of volume, is what I believe drives muscle growth. It's really complicated, but we know that if you subject muscles to enough tension and enough time, often enough, they will increase in size and grow. So yes, you can get results in under 10 minutes a day if you know what you're doing and the stimulus is correctly applied. Now, I don't say if you know what you're doing to position myself as the expert, but people, especially like my favourite type of body weight exercises are very simple, just push-ups, pull-ups, dips, single leg squats, stuff like that. And people who've gone to the mainstream gym will they'll just dismiss these movements because they think they already know how to do them. But when I get them in to train with me, or I train them over Zoom at the moment, but they don't actually know how to execute a proper push-up. They don't know how to execute a proper bodyweight squat, and they don't know how to do a proper pull-up with a dead hang at the bottom and how to contract the back. So they quickly dismiss these bodyweight movements, but they can build a lot of strength and they can build a lot of muscle. And the benefit is that you don't really need to warm up half as much because you're doing movements that your body is naturally prepared for and naturally adapted to. Another great thing about bodyweight training is the way, especially for the upper body, I mean it's true for the lower body as well, but the natural movement around the shoulders. So if you're doing a pull-up or a row, the shoulder girdle can move around, so you can get all this fantastic contraction of these periscapular muscles around here that support the rotator cuff. They support healthy functional shoulders. Now, many times if you're locked onto a machine and you're pressing in the gym, so here's the back of the machine, the shoulders are kind of locked into this path with the force only going in one direction. My scapula can't move around to choose the best line of force or to vary the angle of force so that the joint is becoming stronger rather than getting worn out by these exercises. So just as a quick aside, I think bodyweight training is amazing, and it's something that everyone should experiment with, even if you're like a bench press guy, or you love going to the gym and doing your shoulders, doing your curls and all that stuff. There's definitely time for that stuff, of course. But if you master a solid foundation of the bodyweight basics, I think you're really not going to be disappointed with your results, and it gives you a recession-proof or a difficulty-proof body. Like you've always got a piece of equipment you can train with, so you can drop down and do some push-ups, you can do some pull-ups. It's not just limited to push-ups and pull-ups and dips and rows and squats. Obviously there's a lot more, but those movements are going to have a lot of bases covered. You don't need a long warm-up, and you can absolutely kill yourself in like 10 minutes, cause a great muscle building stimulus, and then just move on with your day, which is what I'm into now. Like I'm busier, it's just a round trip of going to a gym, right? For me these days, I'd have to get in the car, drive there, be maybe 20 minutes, and then it's a pandemic, so it'd be closed. So I'd turn around and come home and do some push-ups. But back in the day when the gym was open, I would drive there, which is like, not great for the environment, burning a bit of petrol. I've already spent a bit of money before I've even got started. Then I've got my monthly membership. I've got to have all my clothes. It's like, have I got the right workout clothes? I'd always forget something, forget a towel. Then I'll get into the gym, the bit of equipment I was wanting to use, it's being used. It's like, I'll try it. I'll train a different body part. Oh, there's someone on that. I'd like to do a circuit. Oh, I can't because there's someone on all these bits of equipment. And it would just add a bit of unnecessary stress into the day sometimes. Whereas I've got a couple of pull-up bars at home now, which like really cost me pence. Cost me probably like 1 month's gym membership to put together. I can just jump on them, warm up quickly, a couple of minutes, bust out some pull-ups, bust out some dips, push-ups, rows. Like I can get a really solid upper body workout or lower body workout with the suspension straps as well in like under 10 minutes. So this is something I urge you guys to consider trying. I'll put up some follow-along workouts as well. But the take home is, yes, you can get results in under 10 minutes. You can probably get results in under 5. If what you do is consistent and progressive, the actual time you take is largely irrelevant. And just as a side note, people might say, but what about burning calories? Just as a side note, exercise really isn't a very effective way of burning calories. I know people have said this before and it's kind of making its way into the mainstream, which is good. But diet is the best way to keep your body fat in check. It's really the only way. It's so hard to out-train a terrible diet that you really shouldn't come to exercise thinking of it as a way of burning calories, unless you're going to do an insane amount, i.e. upwards of 10 to 20 hours per week of cardio. Like the calorie burn is pretty minimal. Steps is a bit different because you can be very consistent with your step count, but that's a story for another day. Don't look at exercise as burning calories. Think of it as a stimulus to build muscle, which is going to support your metabolic rate later. That would be my advice. So I hope there's some good take-home points there, guys. I'm going to head off for the day. If there's anything you want me to make a video on, just pop it down below. But just to revise, you can get results in a ridiculously small amount of time as long as you do it. It's the doing it that's the key. So thanks for that. Take care. Speak to you soon.